as a slave, and that's because you were born into slavery. It's the only life that you know. It seems normal. Everybody around you lives the same kind of life. How could it be any different? I absolutely understand it.
Look, he's speaking facts here, guys. Like, he's speaking some cold, hard facts. Everyone lives the same exact life. Dude, you are literally the main character of your own life. Go and live it however you want.
grew up the same way. It's just that I always felt as if something isn't quite right. Deep down, you know exactly what I'm talking about. 99% of people today grow up as slaves. For some, this feeling is very weak. These people will most likely never snap out of it. Whereas for others, it's pretty strong. These people want to look for the so-called truth.
Want to look for the so-called truth.
This feeling is your natural self.
This feeling is your natural self. It's true, though.
That wants to break out of the cage, and the cage is made out of these beliefs and ideas which were implanted in your brain, especially when you were a child.
Oh, yeah.
Some people live in a cage with very thick bars, so to speak. They feel too weak to ever break out of this cage, whereas other people live in a cage with a lot thinner bars. They can already see the light. They feel like they can almost bend the bars.
Working across teams is tough, but Asana helps you handle it.
There's so many
Asana
people,
AI can spot
are
roadblocks
just
and
trapped in the
assign work
matrix.
to
They
keep
just don't
everything
know,
on
but
track.
they're almost out.
That's how work gets handled. Visit us at asana.com.
Just stuck by this much in the matrix.
But they don't feel strong enough yet. They are afraid to take the last step. Do you want to be lied to every day of your life? Do you want to be told what you are allowed to do? As a natural being? Do you want to be told by other people what's good for you, even though only you can know what's good for you? After this video, I'm gonna make sure that you take the last step.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure too that you take the last step. Y'all are taking the last step with me, guys.
You out of that fucking cage. I'm gonna make sure of that. You were born with a natural program, so to speak, and this program tells you exactly what you are supposed to do in this life. Because of this program, you know exactly what's good for you, what's bad for you. You know about your deepest desires and needs. This can never be taken away from you. It's impossible. But what can be done, and this has been done to you, is that they can suppress it. And they can suppress it so severely, especially in your childhood, that you almost forget what you're actually supposed to do in this life. And this started with your parents. There were no bad intentions behind what they did to you. They grew up the same way as you. They were brainwashed by their parents.
That is true. Your parents are really never going to understand until you fully make it, and still, they will never truly understand, guys. They'll, they might seem like they understand, but they won't. And that's okay. You just gotta push through and still love them.
Then, of course, your teachers did even more damage, again, mostly without...
Yeah, the teachers are the ultimate brainwashers. I hate to say it, they're the ultimate matrix puppets.
...any bad intentions. They were also brainwashed. And then the media did the rest. And of course, the media did actually have a conscious...
Don't forget, he's saying media, but it's also social media that's involved in doing this.
...intentions behind what they did to you, unlike your parents and teachers. And this is how you were reprogrammed. As I said, your natural program is still there. It's intact. But you can hardly even connect to it anymore. And what controls your life now, and even worse than that, you believe that it is really your life, is this new man-made program. That's what tells you what you're
Man-made program. It's the man-made program, the man-made matrix, guys.
supposed to do in your life. What's good for you, what's bad for you, what you need to do to be happy and healthy. This is hell. There are people who actually say that we are in hell and that paradise comes afterwards, or that life is a test. These are not only religious people. A lot of people feel incredibly miserable, and that is actually 99% of people on earth. For some it's worse than for others, but most people feel like they are in hell. I hear this constantly. That's why they start doing drugs. They don't care about their health anymore. They don't want to have children. Why? Why would you bring somebody into this earth, this reality? It's hell. I hate it. Of course, you don't want to then. Understandable. I wake up every day knowing that we are in heaven. I feel it every day. I wake up and I know I'm in heaven. I love it so much. To me, this cannot be anything else. But that's because I have a completely different biochemical state. That
Your stomach and your everything else, it's all engineered. All engineered, guys. They're all engineered. Oh my, holy
that's all that it's about. It's the severe brainwashing that happens to you as a child, and it's your biochemical state that changes. That's why in this reality you can be in hell or in heaven, of course, also a lot in between and beyond. But to put it simply, that's why you complain that life is hell. And there's a way out of it. And the only way is the natural way. There's no other way. Every other way is man-made. And those are the paths that people choose. They don't really. It was put into your head. You really had no control over it, but you're lost. You don't understand that the only way is the natural way. You believe that there's other ways that lead to happiness and health. There are no other ways. Only
no other ways, guys. No other ways.
one single way leads to happiness and health. That's it. As a child already, you felt what's good for you and what's bad for you. And what feels good for you and what feels bad for you is what's good for you and what's bad for you. That should be clearly understood. You now, of course, have been programmed to believe that what's good for you is bad for you, and what's bad for you is good for you. Upside down, inverted, twisted, as much as it can be. And now,
very true, guys. They're very good at
now you go through your life
They're very good at
believing that
guys.
What's good for me is actually bad for me. I shouldn't do that. But what's bad for me, what feels bad, well, that's good for me. That's what they told me.
Oh, holy ad.
So you just go through life and you do what's bad for you, expecting to feel good. Impossible, naturally.
Like eating hot Cheeto, eating hot Cheetos and hot Dorito, eating all of these bad stuff.
Never gonna happen. And then you don't do what you want to do. Again, expecting that that's what's gonna make you feel good. Impossible. It cannot happen, ever. Because there's only one way, the natural way. You're choosing man-made ways. These beliefs and ideas that are in your head. This is what you need to get rid of. This started when your parents came to you one day as a child, maybe you remember it, and they said, eat broccoli.
Dude, I remember eat Brussels sprouts.
You smelled it, you already didn't like it, and then you maybe put it to your tongue, and you right away tasted that it's poisonous. Broccoli is a very poisonous green flower. It's one of the unhealthiest foods on earth. They said, we are going to take away your PlayStation. You're not going to be able to watch TV anymore. they pressured you, manipulated you, and forced you over and over again to eat it. Maybe they put cheese over it so that it tastes good, and eventually you started doing something that's bad for you, believing that it's good for you. This is where it started. And then, of course, what happened also later on is, let's say that your grandpa was preparing food, he was making something out of ground meat. You saw the ground meat on the table, fresh, juicy, red, the way it's naturally supposed to be, and you wanted to take it. And your grandpa slapped your hand and said, no, that's unhealthy, that's dangerous, that's disgusting. Bacteria, parasites, you're not supposed to eat the way every natural animal eats meat. No, no. We are going to cook it to death, make it dry, unappetizing, but then we will put a red sauce over it to make
spaghetti
it red again, because that's what we actually naturally want. And then you start believing, oh, so what's good for me, it's bad for me. You see? Everything was twisted. And now it's all the other way around, and you went on living like this. And
yes, that's just how the Matrix works.
After decades, you believe that that's how it actually is. And not only do you believe that what's good for you is bad for you, what's bad for you is good for you, you also now start to try to replicate and imitate what you naturally want to do. You drink Red Bull. Why? Because there's synthetic taurine inside, just like in blood. That's why it's called Red Blood Bull. And then you drink this toxic drink for energy because you want blood. That's why you drink tomato juice. That's why you put red sauces over your food. Why did you always want to eat chocolate as a child? Because you wanted seed slime with toxins and sugar. That's what you naturally want.
That's just what you naturally want, guys.
Because that actually exists in nature. Or did you want raw liver?
Raw liver.
Why do children in nature rush to the animal that was killed and
because of the raw liver tastes like chocolate?
Beg the grown-ups for the liver? And if they are given the liver, they go crazy over the liver because it tastes exactly like chocolate. Not the overcooked shit that your mother gave you with onions. No. Actual healthy raw liver from proper animals. It tastes like sweet chocolate. You never wanted chocolate. What you actually did want is raw liver.
Very true. I guess I have won Feastables before, but preferably I would have had raw liver instead.
Why do you play video games? Because you want to hunt. Why do you play football?
Dude, that's not why I play video games.
Because you want to hunt with your team. Once you will start waking up, you will realize that we constantly imitate and try to replicate everything that's natural. And the people who programmed you knew this. They gave it to you. Because that's what you're supposed to do as a slave. You're not allowed to do what you're naturally supposed to do. You're allowed to look at the imitations and do what's socially acceptable, what people around you see as right. You cannot do what's wrong. There's only one way that you will be able to snap out of this. And the number one way is by eating naturally, because this is where it starts. This is what opens the door. There's a lot more behind the door, but to actually be biochemically healthy and to then be able to see through all of the lies that you've been told your whole life, the best and easiest way, and really the only way, will always be by eating naturally. You can see yourself as a machine, which was programmed in a specific way. In this case, that's nature. And this program tells you exactly what you're supposed to do, what's supposed to go inside of the machine. If you go against the program and you follow a man-made program instead, then the machine will malfunction. It has to, because this machine can only function well if it follows the original natural program. There is no other way. And if you don't do that, then you will be unhappy and unhealthy. And that's why when you believe that what's good for you is bad for you, and what's bad for you is good for you, when you believe the opposite of the truth, then of course, you will never feel happy and healthy. It's impossible.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Of course, it's also very hard to admit that you were wrong to people. You may be somebody who promotes going to the gym, jogging, and then you
the gym and jog.
Realize, wait, I've never once in my life actually smiled or showed any kind of joy when I exercised. Fuck, it's actually bad for me, but I've been told that it was good for me, and I told so many people that it's good for me. What can I do now? Admit that I was wrong? Not only to other people, but to myself also? That's scary. I understand that. Maybe you promoted a plant-based diet. Then you realize that none of the foods that you ate actually ever tasted good. Your natural senses, the real program, the original one, always told you that it's bad for you. And now you will go and promote pretty much the opposite of that, eating raw organs, drinking blood, but actually makes you feel euphoric, completely changes your biochemical state. No, scary, I get it. And of course you were told your whole life that food doesn't even influence your mood. What does diet have to do with the way I feel? Nothing. I could go on and on telling you how wrong you were your whole life, how you didn't listen to your natural intuition. You went to sushi restaurants, you ate carpaccio at restaurants, you loved it, but then you went back home and said, no, they prepare it in a safe way. I can't eat that at home. It's my favorite dishes. I crave them so much. But no, there's no point. You will have to come to these realizations
You'll come to it sooner or later.
Yourself. And once you do, your whole life will fall apart. And that's a good thing. Actually, you should take a hammer and break it yourself, so to speak. I could tell you that the way you see colors will change, that your vision will literally become brighter, that the way you respond to people will change, that your whole outlook on life will change, that it will literally change your whole life. But what's the point? I can tell you that you will feel euphoric the way you have never felt like before. But you are in hell right now. You're watching me saying that, but you don't comprehend what I'm saying. That's okay. It's not even possible because you feel a different way. You're in a different biochemical state. You cannot know the way I feel. It is impossible for you to know.
You know, guys, I think I'm gonna be trying some raw steak here in the next couple days.
Why the only thing that you can do is look at me, try to sense the way I feel, and then you will have to do it yourself. And you can do it. I believe in you.
Shining spills of luxuriant opera, yellow dusty pages, bathed with sweet nectar flowing from aching. My
Well, guys, I guess we'll be trying the Goatis lifestyle here in a little bit. I guess so. That's probably the end of the stream, guys. I'll